Record. Okay, hi everyone, good evening. My name's Lucy Platts. I'm an independent consultant with Arbonne International, and this evening is just a little training call just for you guys based on what I learned in Katie Morley's makeup workshop that I went to on Sunday. So if you can get on her waiting list, or if you can go to like one of the Sue Alexander ones or something, because they are really, really good. And the experience of actually putting makeup on someone else's face, especially when you've got Katie there and everyone's doing the same thing, it really helps it helps to build your confidence and just, have a practice. But as far as the theory goes, I've got the workbook that I'm going to work through with you, because there's little things like what the optilight technology is that I think is really, really useful to know. Because the makeup's amazing and we can wear it every day, at least what we've personally got, or if we've got kits, you can wear it every day. So it's a good thing to know about. So take my glasses off, squint away. I'll start. Now I put my glasses on so I can't see it. Okay, so the basics, obviously, so Katie sort of goes through the basics with like the products are unique. So the plant-based formulations, blending the best of science and nature, pH correct, hypoallergenic, and vegan certified. So all those things that are in you discover Arbonne slides. But it's good to go over them, especially in terms of if you're talking to a client or whatever. So the thing we learned about the optilight technology, and this is what makes our makeup stand out against MAC or some of the other more expensive brands, because a lot of the more expensive brands are very, very good at covering up skin imperfections. Katie said that they are good at covering it up, but it's how they're doing it. It's clogging the pores, and it's you're getting spots, so you cover them up with a thick layer, with a thick layer of foundation from wherever, and all that does is block the pores, doesn't allow your skin to breathe, so essentially makes the problem worse. So when you come to taking it off, you get more spots, so you just put more foundation on, or you switch brands because you think it's not working properly, so you just get stuck into a vicious cycle. So with our makeup, the optilight technology means it's the pigments in the makeup that that make it the colors that we use are incredibly fine, so like microscopical, really, really tiny pigments. And what they do is, well, they do two things really. They reflect the light away from the skin, so that's your optilight technology. So the really tiny, tiny pigments reflect the light away from the skin, so that makes it as though you're walking around with your own personal lighting, people making you look fabulous, but it gives that soft focus, flawless look. That's why a lot of the time there's it's been the odd comment when you see people doing their before and afters, and there's no filters involved, but people say, oh, you filtered it, you've touched it up, and it's like, no, that's the optilight technology. That's how it makes your skin look. So it's great in photos and on camera. I know if anyone's been on one of or goes on to a Sue Alexander course, she will say where they're used. It's great used on TV for that very reason. You don't need much of it for them to be covered and flawless when you've got harsh TV lighting and things on you all the time. Okay, so that's that. Now the other benefit from the pigments being this tiny is that's how it allows your skin to breathe. So that's how it helps to improve your skin whilst you're wearing it. So if you're combining it with the Arbonne skincare, whether that's Calm or RE9 or SC5, when you then apply makeup over the skin, it's going to allow all that good skincare to carry on working. It's going to allow your skin to breathe, so your pores aren't going to get clogged up. So your skin will actually improve, whilst you're wearing it, which is really, really great. So there's no other brands that can do that can offer the kind of coverage that we can without actually clogging your skin and essentially making any skin problems you've already got worse. It will actually improve them over time. So that's that. So that's your optilight technology. So now we'll move on to my practical side of the Zoom. I'm going to try and go fairly quickly because there is a few steps. You'll get addicted once you know how to do it, trust me, because I have. Katie recommends you start off, you wherever you're doing a makeover, whether it's, in my case, I'm just going to people's houses. So it's going to be, you want it to be warm, private, well lit, ventilated. Sit your client down. You want to be comfortable. A towel or something for perhaps over the clothing, kind of like the little ones they have in the hairdressers. Because if you're using loose powders and stuff and the shimmer powders, it just, it can dust down onto the clothes. And then a headband to keep the hair out of the face. So the first step is going to be prepare the skin and the face for the application of makeup. So there's 6 steps to this. So remove any eye makeup with our eye makeup remover. Then you can do a cleansing routine. Now I've ordered the Calm travel set with my last order. So that's what I'm going to be using when I do the makeovers. Obviously, if they've already taken the makeup off, great. You can just go over the face with the eye makeup remover just to be on the safe side. But otherwise, you can cleanse and tone. In the Calm set, you've got a cleanser, the serum. I'll show you actually here. So you cleanse, tone with the serum, moisturise, and then there's an eye gel. So you can do a little mini facial with them. It's quite easy to do with a bowl of water and some cotton wool pads. Or if they prefer, they can go and do it at the sink if they're at home. So, but the travel set is so dinky and cute. So you've got your cleanser. You'll see that, yeah. You've got cleanse, and then because I've just done this myself to try it out because I've only got the RE9, so I thought. So that's the serum. It's a tiny, dinky little thing. It's a little like a pipette you used to get in chemistry at school. You squeeze 1 drop onto your hands and then rub it over your face, and then moisturise. And then you've got the eye gel, which is a tiny, tiny little pump action one. So I got a young friend of mine one of these for Christmas, and she loves it. So quid's in there, and she likes the makeup as well. Bless her. So that's what I would use to do, a little sort of mini facial beforehand, and it gets them sort of introduced to the skincare line. And it's a good one to start with because no matter what sort of skin type they are, they're going to be all right with Calm. Fingers crossed, anyway. But it's our range for sensitive skin, so you're going to be fairly safe, with that one, I think. So once you've done that, then your next step is your primer. So grab it, excuse me. Right, so primer. 1 pump on your fingers, and then you just rub it into your hands, and then you can just rub it straight over the face like that. So it does glide on really well, and that it basically helps smooth out the skin, fills in any fine lines, wrinkles, covers the pores up, and it means the makeup's going to sit on the skin a lot better. So there's some tips. Katie gives some tips on choosing like a suitable range in terms of foundation for the client's skin type. So you can ask them about this. You can ask them, how their skin is, what sort of skin they've got. So if it's dry, they're going to have perhaps flaky patches, it's going to look dull. Generally, they're going to want a kind of a dewy, shimmery look. So you're going to be looking at matching them with a liquid foundation, and you can mix a little bit of the highlighter in with the foundation as well, and that will give them, that kind of nice, dewy, moisturised complexion that they're after if they've got dry skin. And again, not too much powder. You know, so the setting powder probably would be, that would be it once you've done the foundation. Now, if they've got oily skin, so if they maybe get a few spots, if it's sort of shiny, they're probably going to want the opposite. So they're going to want a matte look. So avoid the shimmer. Use the mineral setting, you know, the mineral powder foundation, and then you can set it with the pressed powders that we do, and that'll give them good coverage, and it'll help stop the shine as well. So they probably won't. They might want the setting powder, but that has got a bit of shimmer in it. So the key is just to talk to them about what it is. Maybe test it out in the back of your hand first, so they can see what it's like, and then go from there. And then if it's a combination, it's a bit of both, then it's really just down to what the kind of look that they would like to achieve. Okay, so that's that. So we've done a primer, and then we're going to move on to colour matching. So Arbonne actually have, and I think Danny might have all of the colours in her set, but there's 15 colours of the liquid foundation this is, and there's 3 different tones. So you've got warm, cool and neutral in terms of skin tone. Warm skin tones will tan easily, they don't burn, and it's the melanin, which is the pigment in the skin, which is the pigment that makes the skin the colour that it is. They've got more of that, so they've kind of got that yellowy olive undertone. For cool skin, then they burn easily, so they've got less of the melanin, and it's sort of they're kind of a pinky red undertone. So that's going to help you match the foundations. You can sort of split the foundations into 3 groups of 5. So you're not going to know roughly whereabouts to start testing from. A shortcut test Katie says you can do is have a look at the colour of the veins on their wrist. So if they're a bluey colour, skin's going to be cool tone, and if it's more of a greeny colour, it's going to be warm tone skin. Basically, what you can do is apply 3 or 4 that you think are going to look right. You apply a line of them, of each one, down the jawline, into the neck, and then, you know, sort of 3 or 4, and then just have a look and see which one's your closest match. And that's how you can colour match. So if one's, you can mix them if you're not getting it quite right. You can also tone it down with a lighter powder or a darker if you can't quite get it exact. But they do blend in really well, so it's not too much of an issue. Okay, so I've got my foundation, which I was colour matched. Excuse me, getting up and down. I haven't got anywhere to put the makeup box near me. So my colour foundation is Fair, and I'm going to apply it with a foundation brush, which I'd never done before. In fact, even when I first got the kit to start playing with, I avoided the foundation brush because I'd never done it before. However, it's pretty cool. So what you do, I'm getting my hand up so you can see, you've got 1 pump, or half a pump in my case, because I tried 1 pump this morning, it was too much, on the back of your hand, and then you just basically paint. It's a lot of fun. I sort of go around, try and use the screen, but it's a bit strange. I've got a mirror right next to me. So basically you're just painting it onto the skin and blending it is exactly like painting. And the good thing about the Arbonne brushes is they don't leave any lines. Katie said they are the best brushes, really, which even she's experienced. A lot of foundation brushes, she says you find you have to sort of go over them with a sponge applicator afterwards. But with Arbonne's brushes, naturally, you don't have to do that. So all you have to really make sure you do is blend it in properly. you know, around the jawline, and then take it from there. Okay. So that's foundation done. Now you can use concealer, and I'm not going to put it on tonight, but I will just say for they only, I think it comes in like 2 or 3 shades, so you know, one's going to, you know, you can blend. What you didn't do is apply it with your ring finger, because that's the weakest one, and then in terms of where to apply it, pretty much the same as where you're meant to apply your eye cream, so not quite directly underneath, and especially not if they have got dark circles that they're conscious of. If you apply it just under the eyes, it's going to make it look worse. So make sure you blend it down further onto the cheekbone and underneath. And once you've dabbed it on and, you know, covered any other blemishes that they might want concealing or whatever, you can then blend it with the foundation brush, because even if they're not an exact match, once you've blended, it will blend in really nicely. Okay, now one of my favorites is the highlighter, and I like to use the highlighter. So I'll grab that. There we go. Right, excuse me, sorry. So you've got the highlighter here, and again, you really only need a really, really tiny amount. I'll try and show you how much. So you're talking really, really tiny. You're talking almost as much as when you use your eye cream. You know, real tiny, tiny dots. And the highlighter is where you would want the areas of your face to show up. So if you think of the contouring, you've got kind of highlights at the cheekbones. You can correct the shape of like a wonky nose. That's a really clever trick. But I tend to put it in the tear ducts in my eyes, because I've got small eyes. So that helps me make them look bigger. And you can just dab it on the cheekbones like that. And again, that's because I like, you know, I think it just makes it, that looks really nice and fresh, and it's really subtle as well. And then I'm going to go into, there's a little bit on eye shape as well when I come to do the eye makeup. But basically, you can, a bit of highlighter in the tear ducts right in the corner helps make eyes look bigger. So if you've got someone that's got quite small eyes and they want them to stand out a bit more, that's one way of helping to do that, because it doesn't look obvious, you know, white marks in the middle. It's nice and subtle. So always, and then the rule is, if you're having a liquid foundation, you always set a liquid with a powder. So you would do the translucent setting powder now, or you can either use the mineral foundation as a way to set it as well. That's if they're wanting, you know, a good that'll give a really, really good coverage, and it won't give them, you know, if they don't want a shiny, shimmery look, and they want, you know, if they've got oily skin and they want a matte complexion, then, you know, you can use the mineral foundation, the powder foundation for that. We've got the pressed powder. Yeah, so you've got a pressed powder. You can use that to set it as well. And then that's it, yeah. So the translucent setting powder, best way to keep it when you get it, if you order it, and especially if any clients order it as well. They need to just keep a cotton wool pad on the top of it, just to keep the powder from falling out, because it's kind of got a mesh top. I don't know if you can see that. It's got like a mesh top to it, which you can dip the brush into, but obviously if it's going to be in a kit or in your makeup bag, it's going to tip out if you're not careful with it. So powder brush, which is the biggest brush. The Arbonne brushes are really useful. They've got a little instruction book in with it if you're really not sure what you're doing, which was like me. And it tells you what each brush is for as well, which is fabulous. Because I was an absolute novice. I literally, when I've got the kit, and now I had to give it back. That week was terrible. Just with mascara and foundation. Oh dear me. So yeah, somebody else commented on Facebook actually says the only downside of having been on a makeup course is that you cannot just leave the house anymore. You have to do it all properly. So anyway, I get sidetracked. So powder brush, dip it in, shake the excess off, and then it's just circular motions just over just to set. And it's really, really good. And I think if the cameras will work to show it, I'll show you the trick with the setting powder, which you can show any clients. So take one of the eyeliners, because what it does is it honestly sets the makeup, makes it just not budge, and it will last all day. And I mean, to do this, I've had makeup on during the day, and it was a case of I had to literally wash everything off because it hadn't budged at all. It washes off really easily, but it actually won't budge on all day. So the setting powder, you can show them a couple of lines of eyeliner on the back of your hand, and then pop the setting powder onto one line. So I've not put it, there's the 2 lines, so we'll go on to this one here. Try not to get the other one. So if you blend that in onto that one, I'll rub. That line's not going anywhere at all. In fact, it'll probably still be there tomorrow. But the other eyeliner, I don't know how well you can see the difference, to be fair, because the light's quite bright. That's probably a better one to do face to face. But basically, what the line of eyeliner you do with the translucent setting powder on is not going to budge, and the other one will smudge away. So it's a good way of showing if they really don't want you to put makeup on, which my mum and stepmom don't, bless them. You can show them how good they are just on the back of your hand. Okay, let's put this away properly. Suzanne's going to watch this later. Okay. Right. So next thing is brusher. Now I'll see if I can show you on here. We've got, let's hold it up so you can see. She's put different face shapes up and whereabouts the best place on the cheeks is to apply the blusher. So you've got long, oval, round or square. Basically, you want to get your client, you need to get your client to smile, and then you want to get it onto the apples of the cheeks. So you smile. And then you're aiming for these bits here, and if they want, they've got quite a long face, you can blend the blusher kind of up like that, up that way. If you've already got an oval face, because apparently on makeup because Katie's qualified. The perfect face shape that people are aiming for is the oval face shape. So if they already have that, you can just concentrate it on the uppers of the cheeks. Now with all the makeup, it's really heavily, it's really heavily pigmented. There's a lot of colour, so you can, a little goes a long way. So always start off with a little bit, and you can always build it up if they want a stronger look. So I will ask Kate. I will get copies of these for you. But Katie, to be fair, will do them if you're going onto a course. I don't want to kind of, steal her thunder or anything, because, but I just think there's some things in here that are really, really good. And it'll give you a head start. Now, eyeshadow. In terms of colour matching for eyeshadow, what you need to remember is opposites attract. So she's put a really handy colour wheel up. And you can then see, so where you've got, yeah, so if someone's got green eyes, what's going to make their eye colour really pop out and stand out is kind of browns, coppery colours. If they've got blue eyes, again, it's going to be slightly lighter shades of, maybe sort of orangey, goldy colours like that. Brown eyes are going to pop out with green. With stuff like that, it doesn't really matter. It's in terms of what you could offer them as a suggestion. You can still say to them, what colours would you normally wear? Do you want to try something different, or just want to sort of see how to apply your usual things, but, slightly better? So we've got loads and loads of choice in terms of eyeshadow. There's a few tips on how to make up their eyes depending on the shape. For me, because it's easier, I know what I need, so I'll sort of explain that. It's going to be one of those things that you need to sort of see Katie to show you, show you on a model what she's on about. But for me, my eyes are quite small. So what looks, and I've practiced this, and it was oh, I see what you mean. So bright light colours on the lid, and then any darker colours keep to the outer corner, and that will help make your eyes look bigger. And again, you can put a highlighter or one of the 10 minutes, be quick. Yeah, like a highlighter in the inner corner, and that'll make the eyes look bigger. So with terms of what shade to do, you want your lighter shade on the brow bone, and then kind of all over the lid as well. You can. So you've got three eyeshadow brushes in the makeup brush set. So you've got a bigger one here for sort of all over, and then you've got one for shading, for doing in the crease, and then you've got an angled one, which is really good for doing your eyebrows as well. I'm going to have to do another Zoom call on this, aren't I? Because I've only got halfway through. Okay. So I'm going for vanilla. I'll just do one eye a bit quicker. So vanilla all over the lid with the your all over brush. And then you want the smaller brush. You can choose a mid-tone colour. I've been tending to go for the sand. Sand is really good as well, certainly for me, for eyebrow shades. You can fill your eyebrows in with it as well. So for that, you keep that to, for me, for the sort of more towards the outer corner. So I sort of start in the middle. You can see about there, and then the shape of the brush makes it really, really easy. You just kind of push it into the crease, and then you're done. And then for the you can go for a darker colour on the outer corner. So this one is Smoke. So same again, just further into the outer corner. Okay, and then the real key to making it so you don't have any harsh lines is to blend with the bigger brush again. Just blend it all in so you've not got any harsh lines. And blending was, really made quite an emphasis on. So it's, keep blending, and then Katie says when you think you've blended enough, blend some more. So now for eyebrows, to get your shape for eyebrows of sort of where they should be, is you can take your brush and then you want, move a bit closer. So they should start from, angle the brush against your nose up to the inner corner. That's where they should start. The arch should be, again, just use your nose as the center point, and then for the brush halfway through, sort of cut through your eye, not literally. And then they finish, so do the same again. So, and then all I do is just use the angled brush in the sand, and then just finish off my eyebrows because they're overly done. Okay, I think I'll round it up there. So what you're left with after that is mascara. Now with the makeup kits, you get these disposable mascara ones. So always use a fresh one for each person. So there's that. Obviously there's eyeliners. These are things I haven't really learned how to do on other people yet. So, but you can do with that. You can practice the basics on people. And then lipstick and lip liner. Always lip line first. There's a tool on the Arbonne website. I have to message Katie and ask her how to find it, but you can match the lip. It tells you how to match the lip liner to the lipstick colour. So you can do that. So then you line the lips and it helps the lipstick stay on, and then you use a lip brush. And again, lipsticks is all about personal preference. As the Lorraine, who I did the makeup on the Sunday, I chose quite a neutral colour, and she changed her lipstick when she got home to a stronger colour. She liked both, and both suited her. So it is about personal preference. The main thing you need to sort of match is the foundation, and always sort of blend with the eyeshadows, and ask them what they feel comfortable wearing, and you should be fine. So that's it. Not probably quite as much as I wanted to cover, but I haven't got much time left, so I'm going to unmute you all now, and then you can tell me what you think, and I'll stop the recording before I do that as well. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, and I hope that helped.